Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the Plant Spot. So today on my table, I thought we'd talk about begonias. I guess you could say I'm on a kick of pop of color. So if you like to have content, stick around. All right, y'all, like I mentioned. First of all, let me introduce myself again for those of you that are new. My name is Husta, and I'd like to welcome you if this is your first episode. And for all of you that have been following me since we started, thank you so very much. All right, on to the topic. So I thought we'd feature begonias today. And as I mentioned, I think I'm on my pop of color. So begonias are they're tropical and subtropical plants. They can be found in Asia, Africa, and Central South America. Um, what I like about them is the wide range of variety. They come in so many different colors. Now, on my table, what I have are some of the ones that look the best. But granted, me and begonias have not been friends for a very long time. The ones you see here and all the other ones I've had for about a year, but we've been struggling. So we've been trying to get to know one another. And when I originally purchased these guys, I purchased them to make a cabinet very pretty. And it was pretty for a while, but what I noticed was that they started to decline. Now, when you read about begonias, they tell you that they have a tolerance for highlight. Some will do good in shade. And while that's true, not all begonias like the same conditions. And I learned that the hard way. So the ones that you see on my table, for the most part, I've had to restart and reacclimate to different places in my home, and figure out what they like as far as watering. So, what I've come to learn is that begonias prefer that indirect kind of bright light where they're getting light, but it's not directly on their leaves. And it's very difficult to explain, but those of you that grow plants, I think you have an idea of what I'm talking about. So these begonias, for the most part, with the exception of these two right here, these two live here in the plant room, and they're on this plant shelf. I'll show you. So one is tucked, and I'll wiggle my fingers. One is tucked in this corner right here, and the other one is getting more bright light here, and she seems to like that. Now, I found that when they don't get enough light, they grow like all plants, right? So they stretch and look for the light. So that's something to watch for. And another thing that I've found is that they're very thirsty. So what I've done to help me with that situation, considering I have so many plants, I've placed them in a kind of self-watering setup. So this one right here has a little water reservoir, although there is no wick. I find myself watering this plant maybe every 3 to 4 days, or once I feel the top dry. I don't even stick my finger down in there. If that top is dry, I water her. These two, as you can see, I've got them set up in a self-watering type situation with a wick. So when that water runs out and I touch the top part of that soil, once it feels dry again, then I rewater and fill that reservoir. This one, I ended up having to cut back all the way because she was just not happy. And I decided I would experiment. Now, you guys know that I have quite a few plants in a no drainage setup, right? So, no drainage means that when I water this plant, there's nowhere for the water to go. She maintains a reservoir at the bottom. In this instance, what I have at the bottom of the plant is leca and soil at the top. When that leca goes dry and there's no more water at the bottom, I rewater this plant. Now, as I mentioned, for this one, I ended up having to cut her back quite a bit. But as you can see, she seems to be enjoying this setup, and she's putting out a vast amount of very pretty leaves. Now, you guys know I'm a leaf girl, right? And that pop of color adds a little bit of contrast to my collection because everything is either very green or with a little bit of sportive variegation. Adding these plants in different spots, just like we talked about with the begonias couple videos ago, just adds that flavor, right? That little pop of color that draws your eye to it and breaks up some of the greenery that you have in your home. Another thing that I like about these is that propagation is fairly simple. So I I have propagated these plants from a leaf cutting. You can place a leaf in a little bit of soil and they will propagate and grow a new plant. I have taken stem cuttings and put them in water and they grow roots and then you can transplant them whichever way you see fit. So that's fairly easy with them. As far as the soil, now for me, what I found that works is I use what I always use with all of my plants, my regular soil mix, but I amend that with a little bit more small chunk orchid bark and some perlite so that they drain well but retain a little bit of that moisture. They seem to appreciate that. Now, those tiny little critters, bugs, you know, I can't say one favors it more than the others. I'll knock on wood as of yet. On the begonias, I had not found any sign of pest pressures, but they are prone to mealybugs, thrips, scale, all those things that we absolutely love to hate. For humidity, now there's some of these begonias. There's one that I've been eyeing, but I'm not going to buy. I think it's very pretty. Those There are some begonias that need that high humidity. These, for example, I thought they would be happy in the cabinet where the humidity was at least 70%. And on the contrary, they all declined. I had to take them out of there and figure out a different method of caring for them. So I would say that for the most part, most begonias are comfortable in regular household humidity. Now, as I mentioned, I have two of them that live in this room where the humidity stays about 50%, but there's two that live in the orange room where that humidity ranges between 40 and 50. So it can vary. I don't think you need to run out and get a humidifier in order to care for these bad boys. And the one thing I think everybody will appreciate is that the color. Well, you guys know I'm a leaf girl, so the color and the leaves, like this one has, I'll tilt it over a little bit. It's got that silver and maroon, and it's just gorgeous. Unfortunately, I don't have the name of this one. I'll see if I can find it. And the back sides are gorgeous. This one sports a little bit more of a purple and fades out to green with the purple veination, which is also very gorgeous. This one, when the leaves come out, as you can see here, let me see if I can. When the leaves come out, they're so cute and fuzzy. And most begonias, for the most part, have some type of fuzziness to them, whether it's on the leaf itself or on the actual petiole. But the colors on this one are very pretty too. And then I think the coloration on this one is my favorite. Now, this one was getting highlight, and I don't know if the light is what's making the colors on the leaf be so vibrant. This one does have the labeling. Let's see what it says. This is a candy stripe. So the front of the leaves are absolutely gorgeous, and the back have that blush. And as they get older, that blush fades and the color on the leaves fade. So yeah, excellent pop of color. If you're interested in begonias, my suggestion would be to buy one and see how you do with that and see if you can get the care down um, and you're comfortable with them before you invest in a lot of them. There's like 600 varieties of begonias. So your options are relative, limitless when it comes to these guys. The only other thing that I want to mention is that they are toxic. So if you've got pets that like to munch or you've got small children, I would suggest that this is something that you're interested in to keep it in a place where they're just not able to reach. Other than that, guys, that's all I have on the begonias. I hope you enjoyed this little snippet, my visit with begonias. Hope to see you again real soon. And if you haven't done so yet, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a friend. Hit that bell so you can get notified. Talk to you real soon. Bye.